Good morning. Is everybody awake? No? Maybe? Kind of? Good morning. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the vExpert Daily Podcasts. It's our last day of VMworld, and just going to be discussing some things about the show and whatever else we can find to talk about. I guess I'll throw out the first question here. What do you guys? What's your guys' biggest take from the show this week? Anything that have hit you, or not literally, of course, but anything that stands out for you? Company, feature, technology enhancement, anything?
Um, so I think that data gravity was pretty interesting. They got best of show, obviously, but being able to kind of see your data, figure out what type of data you have, who is using the most data, and really understanding like what's taking your space up, and it's kind of a game changer, I think, for the mid market. So they've got an interesting take on things. So
What do you, that's interesting you talk about data gravity. I went to their booth yesterday after this show to kind of take a look at, because I didn't really, I've heard of them. I knew there was something with storage, but I didn't know exactly what. So I wanted to look more into them and see what they had to offer. Saw a little bit and kind of shared that they extract from the VMDK, right, and gain data from that, analytics and such, and more. Do you think that's a niche use case solution? Do you see it as being more widely
well, I
accepted
mean,
by any kind of organization? What's your take on that?
I guess let me ask you this. So if if I could tell you, hey, if your storage array could tell you everything about your data, that you could search it, you could look at data types, you could look at who, you could look at all that data. I mean, would you just ignore that, or would you go in it and figure out what's out there? And so I mean, I think it's one of those things that if you have it, you will use it. And if it's in the market and competing against the other products, it's something that other products don't necessarily have. And if you are looking for that, right, it's something you don't have to go out and spend a large amount of money, time, and effort to get. So it's just a differentiator for them to be able to separate themselves from the rest of the market. But yeah, it looks interesting. I mean, that was kind of like my number one pick, so to speak, of technology this year, as well as just to see some cool companies like Zengati and what they've been doing. I've always been a big Zengati fan, so
Oh yeah. Anybody else?
I can keep talking.
I think a lot for me. I mean, I know only for a while. Like Evo Rail was coming out. I was on the early access blogger programs for it, etc. And yeah, I mean, I think that's a good use case for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, especially they're aiming at the SMB markets, but I think it's working well for people, even, the smaller companies. You can start off with one node of 4 blades, and then I think that's fitting in a lot of people. I mean, I know it's based on Enterprise Plus, and you have to pay for, 4 Enterprise Plus licenses and 4 vSAN licenses, so it's coming in like the $80,000, $100,000 range. But if you look at anybody else and what everyone else is actually putting out there, I think it's a really good fit. I mean, I was on a lot of the demos and stuff like that, and you can literally set it up in 15 minutes. So even if you're not a virtualization guru, or you can get it all going, you can get it on for a lot of places, and I think that's really a really good use case for what they're actually doing. I think it's moving everything away, making it really great, but also fitting into that space of not being too expensive. I know 100,000 for some people is a lot of money, but if you look at any other competitors, it wouldn't be fair for me to say anywhere else, but you just look at the competitors as yourself. No one's really coming in at that level. I mean, 80 to 100,000 for an SMB's not bad if you think that you can get it going that quickly and get those kind of features out of it. So I was quite impressed with that. I think it came out, and there was a lot of back and forth between obviously a lot of competitors, and some people are up for the challenge. Other people try and throw mud at each other. But I think, I think it's really, really good product, and I think it's going to be. They were saying for the lab, vRail was one of the ones that was really getting a lot of people's interest. And I think that's only right that it's getting a lot of interest because it looks like a really good product.
Sorry, Greg. I haven't had a chance to go to the lab or go into any of the sessions on Rail. Will they come in different offerings of vSphere levels, Essentials, Enterprise, Enterprise Plus, or is it just all Enterprise Plus?
It's all Enterprise Plus. So literally, you come in and you can go up to 4 nodes, but one node is pretty much 4 blades, at least for vRail. And yeah, it's coming in with that. As I said, you've got to have 4 Enterprise Plus licenses to get it all together. But yeah, the pricing on it. I mean, I'm not a salesperson, so I don't know what the SKUs would be per se. But yeah, I mean, I think it's coming in on that market. You are getting obviously all the features of it, because I think with vRail you do need the features of distributed switches, etc., to get it all together. And obviously it's based on vSAN, but I think also, as I was saying, for VMware, it's not really going. They're not going into the hardware market. They're going into really software. It's letting their partners put it out as OEM, and I think that's great.
So, one thing that I'm really excited about is kind of to what you were saying, watching VMware cooperating with their partners. So, VMware's not getting into the hardware game. That's all going to be OEM. And then anybody can do it. At Tech Field Day, we were talking with SanDisk about some stuff that they're developing, and VMware is working with them to develop basically the successor to vFlash read cache that third parties can plug into. And so I think there's just going to be a lot more opportunity for third parties to do stuff that ties in really well with VMware, because VMware is being a good partner and cooperating with them to develop that stuff.
Just to build on what you were saying earlier, I think that it's going to be obviously a 1.0 product, and so I'm kind of curious to see what that leads to down the road. When we start seeing the next version of VMware and vSphere come out, there's going to be obviously a lot of things change there too, and it'll be interesting where it ends up looking like, right? And another take of that is that whenever VMware releases a product that makes the competition kind of change gears a little bit, and so it'll be good, I think, for the overall industry. See what happens.
See what happens maybe with like flex pods and
yeah,
and
I mean,
VC all that.
and you have to realize the companies that do have a solution out there today have it's their word that this is a good idea in the past, that it's solid, right? Well, now it's like VMware's kind of validating that design, right, for them. So
It's a reference architecture.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a reference architecture, and so it's good for all parties.
How do you think it's going to affect partnerships between VMware and other storage companies, for example?
I see. I don't think vSAN right now is an enterprise level storage solution. I mean, there's still pieces missing. Okay, will it get there? Possibly. Okay, but I think it has a while, maybe version 3 or beyond. That's just my 2 cents. So, I mean, I was asking the other day, where is dedupe? I think that's a missing piece if you're gonna, step up and bring this to the enterprise level.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of technical, things to think about too when you start talking about cluster design and maintenance mode, and how data is replicated between nodes and those things. And,
well,
warm up and rebuild times and things like that. So, but it's an early product, right? And to your question, I think that it'll be good, right? Long term, it'll be a great thing. And like I said, if we reflect in a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, we'll see, I think a lot built off of this announcement and of the other, pieces of Evo.
So what you're saying is competition building stronger partnerships.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Interesting.
yeah, I think it'll allow the other competitors have to step their game up, right? So I think you'll start seeing more innovation from all the other partners.
So last day of VMworld. what do y'all got going on today? Anything that you're heading up today? Anything looking forward to? Sessions, labs,
I'll keep talking.
sleep,
No,
sleep.
I'm actually going to spend quite a bit of time here today. As everybody knows, run 2 VMugs, vExpert. So community is important to me, and so I'm going to try to stick around here and have conversations and watch what people are doing, and that's kind of my main focus today. So
Networking, good. Always a good.
I don't have anything planned, but I'll be here all day, and my intention is just to hang out and talk to people because that's what I'm going to take away the most from is conversations with people like Roger.
Yeah, definitely the networking aspect and supporting this guy because he has a brown bag here in a few, so he'll be showing us some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first VMworld US. I'm based out of the UK, and it has been, everyone's, oh, what have you got really out of it? And it's the same as it will be today. I've really enjoyed the networking. Obviously, not the NSX networking per se, but more the actual meeting of people that I know via Twitter or their blogs or wherever else. And I mean, I'm part of the vBrownbag crew, and yeah, the tech talks this week have been amazing, to be honest. I mean, we've got them going every 15 minutes, and some of the demos people have done, some of the talks people have done are amazing. I mean, I think sitting here and watching a lot of them while supporting has been, just crazy the amount of information coming out of people. I mean, we've got them all on YouTube, so we can watch them again, and yeah, I'm probably going to need to watch a few of them again because, they were just amazing. I mean, we had some people coming in doing literally live demos, and I think the difficulty per se of being in the hang space is that some people will come and watch, but it really is catching people as they go past, whereas we get a lot of people downloading. So I think for me, today is just going to be helping out vBrownbag. Maybe I'll go to like a hands-on lab or so, but I think now that hands-on labs you can do online and you can watch the sessions.
2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
So in 2 weeks, the hands-on labs that you see here, most of them will come online.
Yeah, so I mean, then they're online, and it's probably, I'm not going to get the networking like I am here, so I think that's more it, and making like our own V-recognize to challenge the VDB, so just stuff like that. That's been the good fun, like just stuff like that. It's always a good laugh, and we were getting tweets from the CEO of Virtual Clarity last night.
Cloud physics, yeah.
Cloud physics. I mean, sorry.
Kinda calling us out on a couple of things.
Calling us out on a couple of things, and that's a great thing is that you can have people like that just literally come up and chat to you. I mean, the most approachable guy. He saw us and he came over and started chatting to us, and we've tried to get a blogger early access program out of him now, and it'll be done. But that's the great thing about it is just the approachability of even high-level executives. I think that's a big thing about this community, and everyone else around here is really helping each other out and learning off each other and trying to build each other up. I mean, James is pushing him out to push out his blog, and it's everybody trying to get everyone to move forward.
Well, I think
By the way, Ahmad is going to be blogging soon, so watch for that.
You guys have made a great point in
I've been getting
your
called out all
recent
week.
statements about networking with each other and community. In flying, I'm based out of Kansas City. Flying into here, had a stop in Phoenix before my flight here into San Fran, and a handful of others that came from Kansas City. I overheard them talking and kind of found out they were coming to the show. So I was talking to them more and was like, "Hey, what's your Twitter handle?" They didn't want to give it out. Some of them had it, some of them didn't, but they don't really use it. So we use it for community, right, and interacting with each other, technology work. So it seems like we could be kind of caught up in our own little bubble world of our community and not realize that it's not out there. So there's a lot of good to it, right? So what would you say to those that are out there, viewing or in the audience here that don't I wouldn't want to say it wouldn't mean it in a condescending way, but they don't get it. They don't know what our community about. What would you describe our community, technology community, Twitter community, vBrownbag community? How would you sum that up? If you could.
Yeah, it's the thing, and then, it's funny. We did opening acts with the vBrownbag, with the VM Underground crew also. And we had a lot of really good people from like social media and Amy and all of them, and they touched a lot on that. I mean, I'd recommend people to watch that because that was a really, really great discussion. And it's that kind of thing. It's if people are saying, yeah, there's a lot of us who are on social media, and a lot of people talking about how it changed their jobs, got them a new job, just stuff like that. And I think, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people I know with the social media guys. They've been helping people start up their first like Twitter accounts and stuff like that and get on it. And I think all of us were at that point where you go on Twitter and you start off an account, you're not really sure, same as a blog or whatever else. You start off, you're not really sure if anyone's going to read it, or you're unsure. You don't want to be wrong also. So you're going to post something and you worry that you post something out and someone will come in and go, you're such an idiot, why did you post that out? You're totally wrong. And I mean, there will be, obviously, there will be haters at some point. I mean, don't be, yeah. Well, there will be. There always will be haters who don't agree with you, and that's fine. I mean, that's the way it is. But the amount of people that will actually support you, the amount of people you can learn off, I mean, yeah, as I say, I'm based out of the UK, but it's ludicrous that, yeah, I'm meeting up here with Americans to everyone else, and it's as if I know everybody, and we're all hanging out, and yeah, loads of people I've met for the first time only a few hours ago or something like that. But that's the great thing of the community, is really building it up, learning off each other. It's the whole mantra of the vBrownbag, is to try and help each other out. It's all community based. It's helping each other out. We're all trying to strive to be better and to learn off each other.
So would you guys say it's more than technology?
I would say, Twitter is a good learning tool. Okay, if don't get on there and just kind of, hey, how you doing, right? But a lot of people post things even before they post to their blogs on Twitter, right? So it can actually be a great learning tool, very informative. Great announcements come out there, and like Greg's point. I mean, you meet a lot of people, and of course, when you walk around, everybody's introducing themselves with their Twitter handle. Right, and then finally, okay, so what's your actual real name? And you right, that is my real name, right, in my case, right? So, yeah, Twitter can be a great thing, and then just put yourself out there, I guess. And for me, just jump right in and do it and not worry about, what anybody else says, right? I mean, you're going to fall, right? You just continue to learn from that process and move forward.
I'm a big fan of the VMUG, right? So, I mean, myvmug.org. Go out there and find a local VMUG. Talk to your leaders, and most of us will sit down and say, hey, you know what? Here's Twitter. Here's what it's like. Here's how you can find like a group of technologies like yourself that are doing what you're doing every day. And you have to look at it like it's not any different than having a conversation via email, except that others can see it, right? And so, it's a tool to use, to do your job better, to express yourself, right? To see what others are doing.
Ask questions.
Ask questions, put comments out there. But, don't be afraid to reach out and, just like everything else in life, take a chance, make a friend, and push yourself a little bit, and that's all I'm going to say is that if anybody wants to learn more about the stuff, I mean, you can reach out to me, vroger at vroger.com. I'll help you out.
So I know I've used it a lot. Of course, I'm very social on there. I also gain a lot of wisdom from the likes of you guys and others. But I think I also use it as a support mechanism as well. Depending on who you follow, my turnaround time, if I have a question, is certainly much more quicker than going through support channels with a vendor. Would you guys agree? You guys use it that way as well?
I would always try that first before I open a ticket that's going to take 2 days to get resolved. Somebody will answer me.
Okay. All right.
Just use the right hashtag.
So, if there's something maybe that you're looking forward to next year, VMworld, maybe something VMware missed, another vendor missed, or something. What's your expectations or hopes for next VMworld?
So this is actually my first time at VMworld.
So you're just hoping to make it back.
Yeah, right. What I'm really looking forward to is just getting to have the reunion that everybody gets really excited about next year. Because I've known a number of people coming into here, but like I just met Ahmad, and I'm looking forward to next year, like being excited to come and hang out. So sorry for not talking about the vendors and companies, but back to what we've been talking about the whole time. I'm excited to get back together with all my new friends next year.
Anybody else?
I mean, the announcements, right? And VMware usually never disappoints. There's always something innovative, something cool. So I always look forward to the announcements, especially the second general session where we actually get to see a lot of the products demoed live. So that's usually exciting. And then, of course, what James touched on is just getting back and then meeting up with some new and old friends.
Yeah, as I said, this is my first VMworld US, so yeah, you're right. Actually, getting back here would be great. So, there is a bit of a different dynamic. Obviously, if people are watching, do come to VMworld Europe also. It's a little bit smaller, but it is still really good. You're still going to get a lot of sessions, and a lot of the sessions also really polished. So, I mean, I'm also doing VMworld Europe this year, unfortunately. So, yeah, I also come to see it, because the US one is always, everything in America is bigger, true. But, the European one still got all the stuff you would want. It's still really good. Sessions are really top, and you can still get into all the hands-on labs, etc. But, yeah, I think I'm looking forward to, meeting up with people again. Hopefully next year they're not going to change too many names or add V and then a verb onto it. So, stuff like that. You just don't want to. But I think, it'll be good to do all of that again. Hopefully no name brand changes, and maybe we'll have vSphere 7 by then, or who knows.
They may just remove the V completely.
I agree with what you guys have said. I mean, for me, it's so much of it is networking. From everything from personal validation that you're pushing your career the right direction, to that you're keeping your skills current, to you're innovating the right technologies both in work and in your lab, and those things, all the way to staying current on what VMware is releasing for product announcements, to are you is there something that you need to work on because you don't have a knowledge set that you need to have. And the emerging technologies from the expo floor are excellent. It was great this year. Crazy, you need like a week to see everything, like a full week of all day long just to actually get time to talk to every vendor out there. And then, just seeing, some of the great sessions and discussion groups, and at the Tech Field Day this year too. It's the whole package, right? And I think that's what makes VMworld so successful, right? Is it's not just doing one thing good. There's a lot of good that comes out of this event, and I just look forward to another year.
Right. It's something. I'll touch on the technological. Certainly, I hope to make it back as well, and to meet up with friends. One of my awesome colleagues, Todd Scalza, is always saying it's always like, and like Greg and others, like a family reunion coming back here, really. At least to those you want to be around. But there's a couple companies out there, Zerto and Veeam, that are enabling in their solutions to have your inventory, your assets, more easily pushed out to the cloud. What do you think? What's your take on that as far as moving towards the cloud? My thing has always been like it's more enterprise based. Cost plays a part in that. Fear. I mean, and we have a good cloud person in the audience here, Thomas Bryant. But I just don't see as much as an SMB solution as it always been for an enterprise. But when you're talking DR, business continuity and that kind of thing, and these companies that have at least you know, in the past, more recent, have been more of an SMB solution, now working toward being an enterprise as well, making it easier for us to have our assets in the cloud. How do you see that playing in more and more companies and organizations, including SMB, going to the cloud? And I know we're running close for time, so really quick answers, and then we can try and maybe ask the audience for if they have any questions.
I see more adoption for cloud. Especially with companies like HighTrust. Being able to do encryption inside BDMKs and those types of things. I think security is always a hot topic when it comes to cloud, depending on if you have sensitive data or not. And if you looked at the innovators area this year, I don't know if anybody you guys got over there. There was multiple companies that talked about audits or security, and so I think that's that's definitely the direction, and you just have to understand all the components, right?
Right. And Ravelo Systems, right? What an amazing new company that is enabling, having development and such, in the cloud and making it easy.
Yeah, we stopped by the booth and had a lengthy discussion with them, and
Great.
I think they're up and coming. I think they need more integration with AC. That was, in my opinion, something they lacked, but it was really easy and seamless to deploy to the cloud, and I like the fact that it's your VM is fenced off. And if you need any kind of protocol like RTB or anything like that opened up, you just kind of drag and drop, put the protocol, and it's right there.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, Revelo were one of the two people that were actually doing live demos up here, and I think it kind of unfortunately got missed by people. I mean, I'd highly recommend people to watch the YouTube videos of it, because they came up here and quite confidently and almost under the radar. They just did live demos of moving things into AWS, and it was amazing. I have to say, I give credit both of the people who are presenting were also women. I'm not saying anything bad about that. I think it's actually really great. Just before someone starts hitting me or something, I think that's actually really great, showing there's women that are in there innovating with it and doing live demos of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great. Also, they're doing some great stuff, and the people who are working with them and really innovating the stuff are doing some awesome demos, and also getting into the community. We're getting a lot more, and hopefully that also then encourages a lot of young women to think, oh well, actually technology isn't this big scary thing. I can actually see these women doing amazing things in here. I think I could also go for that. That interests me, and I'm sure I've got a very young daughter, but I'm sure loads of us wouldn't mind if our daughters got into the same kind of stuff we do. So
Proud dad moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Proud dad moment.
It would be, and I think that's great. I think it's great if we can get more of it in there, because it is a very male-dominated industry at the moment, and I think that's a great dynamic, and I think more young women that get into it and they also see women to look up to for that kind of stuff, I think it would be great.
Right. Well, we're about running out of time, so I wanted to, although they're not looking at me, I wanted to ping the audience and see if anybody had any questions for any of the panelists or anything. Any comments? No? Last thoughts? All good?
I'm just gonna say, what you were talking about
You
with
have a
live
question?
demos.
He's got a question.
Make a Twitter account and tweet a picture of your breakfast.
I tell you what,
Tweet the word iPhone.
just because we're running out of time, see all 5 of us. I'm more than happy to chat with you a little bit more about that. But we are out of time. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. Stick around for the Tech Talks coming up. And adios. Hope you had a great VMworld.